Hey everybody, godly scientist Elijah here. I'd like to welcome you to this new channel about fascinating science and theology. Atheists don't believe in a God because they believe the universe can be explained without having to use the concept of a creator. A lot of Christians don't agree with modern science because they feel it contradicts the Bible and their beliefs. But what if both these ideas could be challenged? What if modern science really does fit in perfectly with religion? And what if a God can make sense in the theories of the universe? Well, that's what this channel is going to be about, fitting science and Christianity together and discussing the science and theories behind the marvels of the universe. So, was God created? You've probably wondered this before. Well, do you know that just by asking this question, you're proving your inability to understand a truly timeless dimension? See, we are very limited beings. We live in a world ruled by time. It's very hard for us to imagine anything else, but let's try. So when asked if God is eternal, meaning no beginning and no end, most Christians would say, yes, God is eternal. But then the inevitable next question would be, if he is eternal, how did he come into existence? And if he came into existence, he would have had to have been created. By asking the question, was God created, we run into a problem, one I call the creator paradox. If God was created, who was his creator? And who created the creator's creator? And so on. Eventually, we end up with an eternity of creators. So an eternity anyway. No matter how we look at it, things are eternal. So it's much easier and simpler to just assume that God always existed and was not created. But how can something have no beginning? Again, our minds are not able to grasp the concept of eternity. Most people use a line to define eternity, one with no end. That's all fine and good. But in this demonstration, I'd like to use something else. First off, here is us. We are a line with a definite beginning and an end. We are somewhere within the boundaries of this line, because we live in a world that consists of time. A three-dimensional world that is always moving forward. This, however, is a truly timeless dimension, a single point. No beginning and no end. It's just a point. And this is the dimension that the Creator, or God, must exist in. Since there is no past or future in a dimension like this, a question like, was God created, becomes invalid because it uses past tense. Everything we understand is from a finite world, and we need to reprogram our brains to think in the language of eternity. The only way to question God in this dimension is if we place it in the present tense. So we need to ask it like this: is God being created right now, in the present tense? Well, of course not. He already exists. If the answer to the present tense is no, the answer to the past tense and the future tense must be no as well. So we need to say it like this: God wasn't, God will not be, he simply is. God simply exists because he has no past and no future. But if we were able to get into a time machine and go back 100 quintillion years, and if we could see God, would he be there? Or an even better question, would time even exist? Einstein taught us that time is relative. Back before the Big Bang, with no mass and no space, would time exist? Probably not in the form we know. But would God be there? Or would we even be there? Could we even travel in a time machine to a time before time? Well, that's all the time we have for today. But if you subscribe now, some of the future topics you'll be able to look forward to are subjects like, does God exist? Do we just exist in God's imagination? How old is the Earth, really? Could there be life on other planets? Do we have a soul? What is it made out of, and where does it live? Can we ever become too intelligent? And are out-of-body experiences real? And there'll be many more fascinating topics linking religion and science. If you have a suggestion for a topic, please comment below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.